Rainbow Six Siege is likely the biggest comeback in gaming history, being released in late 2015 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One by Ubisoft, the renowned company and creators of classic series such as Assassin's Creed and Rayman, as an underwhelming mess. But over the past 2 years, a steady stream of patches, content updates, and support from the developers has resulted in one of the biggest multiplayer games to date, having sold well over 25 million copies and possessing a loyal fanbase. Siege primarily consists of 3 to 11 rounds of intense 5v5 multiplayer games, with rotating teams of offense and defense, where the defending team must defend an objective from the offense using gadgets, strategy, and in most cases, bullets, while the attackers must attempt to breach into the building and either eliminate all opponents or complete their objective. Each round begins with a 40-second period where defenders get an opportunity to set up their defenses uninterrupted, while offense is restricted to using drones to find the objective, identify enemies, and keep a hiding spot in the objective to come into play later, as long as the defender doesn't destroy it. There are 3 game modes in which to play the game: Bomb, Hostage, or Secure Area. Bomb has defenders protect 2 bomb sites from the attackers, who must get into one of the 2 sites and plant a diffuser, which then takes 45 seconds to defuse the bomb. Although, if a defender destroys the diffuser by going through a 6-second animation without being interrupted, then defense wins. Hostage requires offense to escort a hostage to a safe zone from a designated area of the building. Though, when escorting the hostage, the player is limited to their secondary weapon. The final game mode, Secure Area, requires the attackers to get into the site and capture it, while the defenders must work to prevent the offensive team from capturing the room by maintaining a presence within it. The objective can be contested by any defenders being within the room, requiring the attackers to either eliminate the enemies contesting or forcing them out. Siege's gameplay relies heavily on environmental destruction, having a majority of surfaces, including walls, roofs, and floors, being destructible. This adds another layer of strategy, with reinforcements, opening walls, and marking enemies on cameras and drones. Using cameras and drones, however, must be used with caution, as you are left vulnerable whilst doing so. An emphasis on strategy means that even the most dire situations can be won back, as one clever player can beat an entire enemy team alone, due to less of a focus on pure gunplay. The game is highly rewarding to players who take the time to learn the layout of maps, every character's ability, and more necessary information likewise. Even after death, players are given access to either cameras for defenders, or seeing through but not piloting drones for attackers, which means that you can continue to aid your team by giving them information. Siege also has one of the biggest professional leagues current, with seasonal leagues held to allow highly competitive teams to flourish, which is unsurprising due to Siege's competitive nature. Whilst all of this is true, some gunplay skill is required, which is sometimes frustrating due to a common issue of inconsistent hit registration, and sometimes feeling cheated out of kills. Thankfully, this occurrence is not common enough to be too bad, and Ubisoft is working constantly to correct this. Rainbow Six Siege's design is incredibly detailed and feeds back into gameplay with things such as sound. Sound is just as important as sight in this game, due to the highly strategic gameplay. The sound is incredibly well designed, having ambient sounds such as the humming of fans or car engines running in the distance, which adds to the immersion and increases the importance of listening for inconsistencies in the ambience, which could signify an enemy is nearby. Sound is the most important aspect for roaming defenders who scour the map to catch attackers off guard, attackers themselves for locating roamers and keeping out of risky situations like walking into a C4, and for the objective defenders who must know of the attackers' locations to have a successful defense. The other design aspect that is incredibly important is the visuals, which are stunning at times and can even indirectly cause a victory, letting you know that enemies are nearby due to bullet casings on the floor and boards of wood on the floor from open barricades.
One Op 4 remaining. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Over the past 2 years, Siege has added a total of 16 new operators, split between offense and defense, on top of the original 20, with Ubisoft having no plans of stopping anytime soon. This fact gives highly dynamic and varied matches. It's far easier to memorize each operator's ability than all of the map layouts, which makes the total of 36 far less daunting. DLC operators are far more expensive than any of the original 20, which, while is somewhat limiting to what you can achieve, does not leave you at a disadvantage whatsoever. The original 20 are strong, fun operators that can cost between 500 and 2,500 in-game currency, which can be achieved very quickly from just playing matches, while the new operators cost 25,000 renown each, or can be bought for $5 in real currency each, or by buying the $50 annual season pass. The game also includes cosmetic items, which can range from charms for your weapons to entire elite bundles, which give you a complete reskin for certain operators, and are overall a non-intrusive way of allowing customization. The weapons in Siege are incredibly powerful, ranging from assault rifles and shotguns to SMGs and pistol shield combos, all of which with the potential to kill with one bullet, given they must be in the head. Whereas shotguns can put people in a down but not out state, or kill in one shell to the body, and some weapons, a majority of which being assault rifles, can do so much damage. With a body shot, it will only take a handful of rounds to do the same. As an alternative to the high skill curve, highly competitive PvP mode, there's also a PvE terrorist hunt mode, where you can go in alone, or with up to 4 other players to complete a bomb, hostage, or elimination game mode, either on attack or defense. The AI can vary from incompetent to better than an average player depending on the chosen difficulty. Another available mode, which is good to ease beginners into the game, is the solo PvE situations. Situations rise in difficulty and incorporate necessary strategies into each mission, from leaning to droning to defense setup. The only issue with these modes is they are rarely updated or added to due to the developers' focus on the multiplayer mode. Rainbow Six Siege's teamwork and strategy-oriented gameplay, rather than aiming ability, sets it apart from the typical first-person shooter, while constant new maps and operators allow for incredibly varied matches. While this does somewhat hinder new players, requiring a lot of catching up, strategy and teamwork will always beat having the newest operators, and despite its many flaws, that speaks volumes for the fun and thrilling gameplay, since it still holds over 60,000 concurrent players, over doubling from only 6 months prior. Due to all this, Siege earns itself a strong 8 out of 10.